All right. So this is just another thing that I found, but it's from my nurse case manager, Jessica W., with Minutemen, OhioComp. These people. I'm just gonna let anybody know. I mean, I'm telling you, if you get Jessica W., which is apparently a registered nurse working up in Ohio as a nurse case manager, look out, because this lady is very dangerous. So, but it's dated for 6/24 of 22. It's going to Dr. Black. I don't know, there's nothing checked here, which is weird. Fax is confidential, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I went up here to try to read or figure out something. I don't know. I don't really know what this lettering means, up here at the top. Hmm. This should be noted. So, whenever my nurse case manager changed, Jessica, she changed my injury location from upper back, which is where I had it, to lower back, which is the narrative that they needed. It says, it shows this right here, this medical release form, right? And, from Hockman and Plunkett. Well, this is that same form, right? See this form? But this is that same form. And, I've already proven that this is not my electronic signature. And so, by her sending this, whatever this form is, whatever this signature right here is associated with, is fraudulent, because that's not how I sign my name. And furthermore, that code on the bottom is not associated to my, that's not my, my special code, or my, individual code, or whatever that's associated with my e-signature. So that was one of the first things I checked. Is I went on to, whenever I first saw this crap, and I'm like, dude, I write out my last name. That's stupid. And that's one of the first things I did, though, is I went to my e-signature thing and looked at because every account does have a code, and I looked at it, and of course it wasn't this, this DFCB, whatever, it wasn't that, so, yeah. It's just a little bit of medical fraud for you. A little bit of third-party medical fraud. Just a really a good example of my nurse case manager. She says it right here. She says, after review of the claim is only allowed for, low back lumbar, which is total BS. It says so right here it says the date of injury was 10/25 of 21, and the injured worker returned to work full duty on 10/26/21. That's not true. On 10/6/21 that's the morning that I told my foreman that my back was bothering me from yesterday, because whenever I rolled out of bed that following morning, I still felt like something was going through me. So that's whenever I told Les. So that's that first sentence right there isn't true. And continued to work full duty until his termination. That also not true. That's not true at all. They had me light limited duty after I went to that medical appointment on December 9th of 2021. They had me light limited duty for the rest of that month up until Christmas break. And then whenever I came back, they told me that I had to go back to full duty, or I was going to be replaced. And I didn't want to lose my job because I was, it was right after the holidays. Hell, I was broke. Until the terminate, and continue to work full duty until the termination of employer/employee relationship on 1/23 of 22. So this whole thing is incorrect, because I did get fired at the end of January, but it wasn't on the 23rd. I got fired on the 25th, and then 2 days later they let me come back. But really, I was ultimately terminated on the 29th, because I worked the 25th. I was gone for 2 days, so I came back the 27th. So I worked the 27th, the 28th, and then they called me into the office around noon on the 29th, which was a Saturday, if I remember correctly. And so, yeah, this whole paragraph right there is messed up. And then it says right here, please provide the medical documentation and rationale supporting to support the Medco 14 disabling injured worker from all work 6/15/22 to 7/15/22 as the date of loss for this soft tissue injury is almost 8 months ago. It should be resolved. I agree with part of that, and is that it should have been resolved, and I wish it was. Trust me. But I mean, really what I'm seeing is that she's saying, hey, look, please provide medical documentation that this, went from 6/15 instead of, 6/22 or, whatever. She's basically saying backdate it, to 6/15. That's kind of what I'm getting out of it. At this time, we respectfully request that you consider a full duty release for your patient by addressing the allowed conditions and mandated national guidelines, as the injured worker shall be able to return to work, which he doesn't do. So he did put me light limited duty, which, like I said, Dr. Derek Black, I mean, he was a good physical therapist. I wish that my MCO, I wish that like the BWC or my MCO or this Jessica chick or Cabrina chick or whatever these fucking nurse case managers, medical case managers, I wish that they would have done better by me, because they're sitting here saying that the claim is only allowed for this low back, and it's just like, look, that wasn't my narrative. That wasn't where I was, that wasn't where I was saying I was injured. Like, I would have put that on my first report of injury. I would have put my lower back if I was hurt there. I didn't put my lower back on that form, for no reason. I put my upper back, on that form because that's where I was experiencing pain from my workplace injury. And, they know that. I mean, it's just, I didn't even know who the hell this lady was whenever all this shit was going on, so whatever. So, just a second ago I was complaining about, because I feel like this Medco 14, it doesn't have pre-filled out things. Like, you see how this stuff is typed in, right? And these X's are like, it looks like it's all done on a computer. Well, I found another one. I guess like the next one. And it does have some things that are typed in. Oh, shoot. It does have some things that are typed in. Right? But, and then again, but look, if you look right here, like on Maximum Medical, see where it says undetermined, check yes or no, check yes or no. I mean, he's clearly doing all this shit by hand. See notes, right? He checks it up there. Well, on this one, all that shit's already done. Look, it's already checked up on top. You know, C notes is typed in, right? Undetermined is typed in. It's like, why is this one typed in and this one isn't? Right? It's just shady. It's just totally shady. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't like that though, you know. Okay, so here's like the cover sheet for that form that we just looked at, and it was sent on 6/22. But one thing that kind of gets me is that if this is the cover sheet, right, where he's telling them, you know, Jessica and Cabrina, which I had two nurse case managers with this company right here, Minutemen OhioComp, is that, I don't know, it has from where I guess he sent it to whoever the hell this is, you know, at 11:14 in the morning, and then Minutemen OhioComp receives it on 6/22 at 8:30 p.m. Working late to falsify my shit. I'll say that. Good job. And whatever this is. So it was in the medical repository on 6/22 at 11:14:25. At 11:14 a.m. I don't know what's a medical repository. What is that? I don't know. So here's something else that I found in my file, and this is apparently from Dr. Black on June 15th of 2022. I already know that that's not the date. And you know, here's another thing is I feel like, because I have some other forms that I found where, like, you see where it says, you know, strain muscle of fascia tendon or whatever, lower back. I feel like that, and I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like stuff like that, like, why is it why is it typed in? Like, I feel like this sheet, you know, shouldn't have things that are like from the computer in it. I don't know, but I could be wrong. I don't know. You know, maybe he does this and then prints it out and then signs it, essentially, possibly. But I just feel like this sheet, you know, shouldn't have any I feel like he would have to, I feel like this form is originally blank, and then they just hand right in. But, you know, what do I know? But let's go over it. So, you know, yeah, low back, okay, that's fucking shit. But clinical findings, reference to the writing of the findings below. Any updates? It says yes. Injured worker is progressing slower than expected, and it says, I guess, see notes. And then below it, right over here, it says maximum medical improvement. Updates, yes. It says MMI is a treatment thing which no fundamental physiological change can be expected within a reasonable has this work injury, occupational disease reached maximum medical improvement based on the definition above. So he says no, and undetermined. Huh. Okay, this is something else too. It says right underneath that, it says note, an injured worker may need supportive treatment to maintain his or her function after reaching MMI. Thus, periodic medical treatment may still be provided and requested. Okay. And then vocational rehab says no. Oh, any updates? Yes. He said no. If no, please explain why and provide recommendations to help the injured worker return to employment. But there's no explanation. There's nothing there. That's great. I don't know. I guess this is kind of janky too. You see how there's like 2 lines right here? Look at that. You see how there's 2 lines? I feel like that's like a typo or something. Right? Could be wrong. Just looks janky to me. Okay. That's it. Alright, so here's another version of that. I guess it's called like a request for medical services reimbursement or recommendation for additional conditions. Anyways, the diagnosis says low back, which is untrue. And I told you that after my first appointment with him, which I think it was on 6/22 is whenever I went. Sometime between 6/22 and 6/24 is whenever this thing went down. But whenever I went to that second appointment, like a month later, in July, you know, I didn't even go to the back. Like, he just told me that he couldn't help me while my, unless my claim was essentially accepted, and his hands were tied. And so that was that, and I walked out. But what I don't like about this one is that none of the bottoms filled out on this one. Look at it. I mean, everything from like here down is missing. Like, none of it. There's no MCO name. There's no nothing. Like, what the hell? Yeah, it says it was faxed at 6/22. I don't know where all the pages are, but I don't know. I kind of question everything. Just because I've just found too many, anomalies. Wish I could see the attachment. Yeah. Well, this is on my second appointment with Dr. Black and on his treatment plan. So it was on the second appointment I had with him was on 7/12, and that's that one where, he basically told me this right here. He said he will remain off work. He's going through the appeals process to get his claim allowed. I cannot explain, or I explained to him that that the MCO will not address any treatment requests while his claim is in hearing status. I don't even know if that's freaking legal, man. Like, to just deny somebody, while it's going through the hearing process, sounds a little extreme. But, I think it's a testimony to this guy that, that he's willing to say that. And he also says right here, he says the findings cannot possibly be produced by natural progression of pre-existing conditions or aging. In conclusion, the reported injury more likely than not is causing the current symptoms and findings. Okay, so, and then he goes on to say, records and accept the findings, home care, ice for 20 minutes, to the examined area. Look at this, see the examined area, bilateral mid-back. So that, hey, that could be my thoracic region, in my opinion, right? I like that mid-back. See how it says mid-back? Because I was talking about the middle of my back. Jessica, or whatever, fucking MCO I had during this time. But no, I mean, he was a, you know, I could tell that he wanted to fix me, you know, shit, a lot more than I could say for the damn VA. Bunch of damn criminals.